Hey class, good evening everyone yaar. How are you all doing today? I hope all of you are doing awesome. And as you know, the last class was cancelled because of some health issue of mine. But I was really amazed and I was really overwhelmed by looking at your comments where you have wished me a lot that get well soon, and because of your wishes I have recovered quite soon, and now I am again back in front of you to start the next session. Okay, so really happy bachcho that so much love you have shown towards me, and I really appreciate for all your concern, all your feeling towards me, and I feel really lucky and feel really proud to be at such a place where I can help so many students, and so many students are learning so much. So thank you all bachcho once again for your wishes. And let's start the Umang series for grade 9. And as you know that in the last two sessions of the quadrilaterals, we have done first the angle sum property related questions, and then I have told you that what are the minimum conditions to prove any ordinary quadrilateral, a special quadrilateral, that is parallelogram or rhombus or say trapezium or square or rectangle, anything, or rhombus. So the properties of those quadrilaterals also we have discussed, and midpoint theorem we have discussed, as well as the converse of midpoint theorem is also discussed in the last class. Okay, so today we'll be solving the questions related to it. So let's move ahead, and before that, let me tell you one thing. Do like, share and subscribe to this Vedantu's grade 9th and 10th channel, because there are many students out there who still don't know about it. So do share these videos, do like the videos, so that many more students who are coming will be able to get to know about this channel, and they'll also learn the good things which they might not be able to learn because of being in a remote area or somewhere else. So do share this videos so that we can, whatever hard work we are doing here, that will be reciprocated throughout the country and many more students can make benefit of it. Okay, so let's start today's session. So before that, I have given you a homework in the previous class, which was this, that ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC, BD is a diagonal, and E is the midpoint of AD. A line is drawn through E parallel to AB intersecting BC at F. If length of BC is 10 centimeter, find the length of BF. Okay, so let us solve this question. So I have told you for geometry question, it is very important to draw the diagram. It is very important to draw the diagram. So ABCD is a trapezium where AB is parallel to CD. So let us say this is your trapezium. Okay, A, B, C and D. Now what they have told, BD is a diagonal. Okay, so this BD is a diagonal. Then E is the midpoint of AD. This point E is midpoint of AD. So E is the midpoint. Remember this thing. So whenever you think about this midpoint, get this thing in your mind, midpoint theorem. Okay, a midpoint of AD, a line is drawn through E parallel to AB. So from E we have drawn the line which is parallel to AB. Okay, and this line intersects BC at F. Okay, then if length of BC, if this length of BC is 10 centimeter, you have to find out what is the length of BF. What will be this length, right? Now first thing, let us say this is a point G. So if you look at this triangle ABD, okay, so A, B and D, and here you know that E is the midpoint. So from the midpoint of any one side, if you draw a line parallel to the next side, okay, this will intersect the third side BD at a point, and this point will be the midpoint of AB. So this is what converse of midpoint theorem. So I can say by converse of midpoint theorem. Why I can use converse of midpoint theorem? Because E is midpoint of AD and this EG is parallel to AB, because from E, whatever line you are drawing, that is parallel to AB, and I can say EG is parallel to AB. So by converse of MPT, I can say G is midpoint of BD. So we have got now that G is midpoint of BD. Now look at the next triangle, which is BDC. Let us look at this triangle, which is what? BDC. DC and B here, and here we have G, okay, and then a line which is drawn here, which is F, right? Now, you know G is midpoint. From G, you are drawing a line which is parallel to DC. How do you know it is parallel to DC? Because AB and DC, they are parallel, and this EF is also parallel to AB. So I can say AB is parallel to DC is parallel to EF. So if these are parallel, I can say, sir, DC or CD is parallel to GF, right? And G is midpoint. So if G is midpoint, again by using converse of midpoint theorem, I can say from a midpoint, if you draw a line parallel to any one side, the line will intersect the third side at its midpoint. So from here I have got F is midpoint of BC. If F is midpoint of BC, I know whole BC is 10, so BF will be 5 centimeter only because it is the midpoint. So from here we have got that, sir, BF, length of BF will be BC divided by 2, which is 10 by 2, which means 5 centimeter. So the length of BF is what? 5 centimeter. So this was the solution, and we have got the correct answer from Vikas, Heram Dambale, Longanathan, Rupak, Field Physics, Krishna Prasad, Sachin, Navneet, Shivam, Snigdha, and Comedy Hacker. So these are all the students who have given the correct answer, and congratulations bachon to all of you. I hope all of you will do awesome in your exams, and if your exams are over, I hope all of you have done awesome already. Okay, so these are the star students for the previous question, and again this session also I will be giving you one more question whose those who will give me the correct answer, their name I will be putting in the next session. Okay, so let us start with today's questions. So first question we have is, point P and Q have been taken on opposite sides where of AB and CD, which is shown here, respectively of a parallelogram ABCD. So ABCD is a parallelogram, that is the main thing we have got, such that AP is equal to CQ. What they have told? They have told one important thing here which was not known to us earlier, that AP is equal to CQ. AP is equal to CQ. Show that AC and PQ bisect each other. That means you have to show that this A, let us say this point is O, AO is equal to OC and PO is equal to QO. This is what you need to prove. Okay, so our main aim is to prove that AO is equal to OC. Let us say this is point O, AO is equal to OC and PO is equal to OQ. If I prove that, I can say both are bisecting each other, right? Now, how do you do it? First thing, we know that AP is equal to CQ. One more thing, I can say that, sir, this angle will be equal to this angle because they are vertically opposite angles. And since ABCD is a parallelogram, I can say this angle will be equal to this angle, right? Because of interior alternate angle. So for three things I have got already in two triangles. So if I say in triangle AOP and triangle AOP and triangle COQ and triangle COQ, first thing I can say is that, sir, first thing is angle POA is equal to angle QOC. Why? Because of vertically opposite angle. Second thing I can say is, sir, angle OAP is equal to angle OCQ because of interior alternate angle. Why? Because if it is a parallelogram, these two lines will be parallel. So this is a transversal line here, right? And the third thing we already is given, which is AP is equal to CQ. This is given. So you can see here by angle side. So by angle side rule, I can say that a triangle AOP is congruent to triangle COQ. If these two are congruent, so by CPCT, I can say that, sir, AO is equal to OC and PO is equal to OQ by CPCT. And once I have proved this, I can say that, sir, AC and PQ bisect each other. AC and PQ bisect each other. Understood? So this is how this question can be solved. So it was a simple congruence of two triangles you have to prove and you will get your answer. Okay, chalo. So now let's move to the next question. So what is the next question? The next question we have is P is the midpoint of side AB. P is the midpoint of side AB. So if it is midpoint, I can say AP is equal to PB. Of a parallelogram ABCD, ABCD is a parallelogram. So all the properties of parallelogram we already know, right? A line through B is drawn parallel to PD. So P, this midpoint of this AB is joined to D, and from B we are drawing a line which is parallel to PD. So these two lines are parallel. Okay, and this line is intersecting DC at Q, and this AD, if you will produce, these two lines will meet at point R. Okay, now prove that AR, this line AR is equal to twice of BC. AR is equal to twice of BC. And second thing you have to prove is BR, where is BR? BR is equal to twice of BQ. Okay, first thing, as you know bachcho, this P is the midpoint and these two lines are parallel, so you can clearly see this triangle. So I can say that, sir, in triangle ARB, in triangle ARB, two things I have. What is that? P is midpoint of AB. P is midpoint of AB. And second thing I have, that PD is parallel to BR. PD is parallel to BR. These two things are given. So from this point, I can clearly say that a line drawn from the midpoint parallel to the second side will intersect the third side at its midpoint. So by using converse of MPT, so by converse of midpoint theorem, I can say D is the midpoint. That means I can say AD is equal to DR. AD is equal to DR, I can say. Now let us see. What is AR equal to? Sir, AR is equal to nothing but AD plus DR. AD plus DR. You want to prove something in AR? Now, you know that AD, this AD and AR both are equal. I have proved it here. So I can say AR is equal to AD plus AD, which is equal to twice of AD. And since ABCD is a parallelogram, I can say that, sir, AD is equal to BC. So in place of AD, I can write AR is equal to twice of BC. Why? Because AD is equal to BC, because they are opposite sides of a parallelogram. So I have proved the first result, that AR is equal to twice of BC. AR is equal to twice of BC. Okay. So similarly, if you want to prove for that this BR is equal to twice of BQ. So BR is equal to twice of BQ. That means you need to prove that this Q, this point Q, is also a midpoint. This point Q is also a midpoint. Okay. Now see what is happening here. First thing, bachcho, I can say, now let us look at this triangle ADR only. Again, in triangle ADR. In triangle ARB, in triangle ARB here. Now look at this triangle again only. But now focus here. I already know that D is the midpoint. D is the midpoint. So from midpoint, if I draw a line, and you know, since CD is parallel to AB, since it is a parallelogram, CD is parallel to AB, I can say DQ will also be parallel to AB, because they are opposite sides of parallelogram. First thing. And I know D is midpoint from the first proof. D is midpoint. So again I will use converse of MPT. So by converse of midpoint theorem, you can say Q is the midpoint. If Q is the midpoint, you can say RQ is equal to QB, and again same relation, BR is equal to RQ plus QB. Since both the things are equal, in place of RQ you can write BQ only. So BR will be equal to twice of BQ. Okay, so two times you have used converse of midpoint theorem. By using the first one, you have got P was the midpoint, so you have got that D is also now the midpoint. And now since D is the midpoint, so this line is also parallel, so now I can say Q is also the midpoint. So 2 times I have used converse of midpoint theorem. Okay, chalo. So let us move to the next question. Okay, chalo, let's move to the next question. The next question we have is this: E is the midpoint of a median AD. E is the midpoint of a median AD of a triangle ABC. So let us draw a triangle ABC. A, B, and C, and let us say, or let us not draw, let's draw a triangle like this, so that, because many will assume ki sir this is perpendicular as well, so whatever is given, only that part. So A, B, C, and there is a median AD. So from A, median AD will be something like this. D is here. If it is median, BD is equal to CD. D is the midpoint, right? Now E is a point, midpoint of AD. E is the midpoint of AD. What they are saying, BE is produced to meet AC at F. This BE is produced to meet AC at F. Show that AF is equal to 1 by 3 times of AC. AF is equal to 1 by 3 times of AC. Now see how to do this part. As you can see, bachcho, ki in this point you are not getting any triangle where, let us say, I can use midpoint theorem or converse of midpoint theorem. So what I'll do, I want to prove that this AF is 1 by 3 times of it. So in another way, you can also say ki sir, this AF is 1 part and this FC is 2 part of it, right? So what I'll do a construction. From D, I will draw a line which will intersect this AC at G, and this line should be parallel to this BF. DG is parallel to BF. So construction is what? Construction is from D, draw a line such that DG is parallel to EF. This is the construction I have done. Okay, there is nothing, you can do this construction by any one line to has to pass which will be parallel to BF, right? Now let us take a look at the triangle which I am telling you to see. Look at this triangle ADG. Look at this triangle. In this triangle ADG, in triangle ADG, if you will look carefully, you know, first thing, EF is parallel to DG by construction, right? And E is midpoint of AD. So I can use the converse of midpoint theorem, that from the midpoint theorem, a line drawn parallel to the other side will intersect the third side at its midpoint. So I can say from here that AF is equal to FG. AF is equal to FG. So these two parts are equal. AF is equal to FG, right? Now let us look at another triangle. Which triangle you want? I want you to look at right now. Now I want you to look at this triangle. Okay, now I want you to look at this triangle. Will this triangle help? This triangle. Okay, in this triangle, you know which triangle I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the triangle BFC. So now you will say, sir, in triangle BFC, okay, in triangle BFC, you know D is a midpoint. Okay, D is midpoint of BC because AD was median, right? And DG is parallel to BF according to our construction. DG is parallel to BF. Okay, DG is parallel to BF according to our construction. By EF, BF, all is a straight line, right? So now by using converse of midpoint theorem, I can say that sir, this line will intersect this point at the midpoint. That means I can say that sir, G is the midpoint of FC. G is midpoint of FC. That means FG is equal to GC. That means FG is equal to GC. So now let us say bachcho, this was your first equation and this is your second equation. You can see AF is equal to FG and FG is equal to GC. That means I can say all three are equal to each other. AF is equal to FG is equal to GC. So from here I have got one more thing, that AF is equal to FG is equal to GC by combining both the equations 1 and 2. Now what is AC equal to? You know AC is equal to AF plus FG plus GC. You know that this AF is equal to FG is equal to GC. So in place of all three, I can write only AF plus AF plus AF, which is AC is equal to 3 times of AF, and shift this 3 there. So you'll be getting AF is equal to 1 by 3 times of AC. Okay. So the main part here is this construction which we have done. Okay, directly you will not get the answer, so you have to do this construction and then only you will be getting 2 triangles. So from here you will be first proving that AF is equal to FG and then you will prove FG is equal to GC. So you will say all three are equal to each other and AC is equal to AF plus FG plus GC. So all are equal, so AF plus AF plus AF, that means AF is equal to 1 by 3 times of AC. Understood? So this F and G are dividing this AC into 3 equal parts. Okay, understood? Chalo, so let's move to the next question. Okay, chalo, let's move to the next question. Next question we have, ABCD is a rectangle in which diagonal AC bisects angle A as well as angle C. Show that ABCD is a square. Now you must be thinking, you said the question is telling you it is a rectangle and you are telling us to prove it is a square. See, all rectangles are not square, but all squares can be termed as rectangles. So this is a square and we have just told you that it is a rectangle. So you just assume, you will only assume the properties of rectangle, and using those you have to prove that it will be a square. How to do it? I'll show you. So let us say ABCD is a rectangle. Okay sir, ABCD is a rectangle. Now what they are saying, diagonal AC, this diagonal AC bisects angle A as well as angle C. That means this angle is also bisected and this angle is also bisected. You know all the angles are 90 degree. So bisection means this angle will be 45 degree, this angle will be 45 degree, and this angle will also be 45 degree, and this angle will also be 45 degree. Correct? Right? Now I now know this angle is 90 degree. So look at the triangle ADC. So in triangle ADC, if you look carefully, you know that angle DAC is equal to angle DCA. And when two angles in a triangle are equal to each other, the side opposite to the equal angles are also equal. So that means you can say here that AD is equal to DC. So from here you have got AD is equal to DC. Now see, in a rectangle, if it was a rectangle, let us say it was a rectangle, so this side, opposite sides are equal, we already know. And if I'm saying this and this are also equal, so all sides are equal. So if AD is equal to DC, I can say ABCD is a square. Next thing, diagonal BD bisects both angle B as well as angle D. Next part you have to prove that this diagonal BD will bisect both angle B and D. So now you will use the reverse part. So you will say, ki sir, this ABD is here. And since now we have proved that it is a square, these two sides are equal. And if these two sides are equal, the angle opposite to them has to be equal. Right? So this is 90, let us say this is X, this is X. So you'll be getting 90 plus X will be equal to 180 degree. Why I can say these two angles are equal? Because these two sides are equal. Okay, so you'll be getting X is equal to 45 degree. Okay, 90 shifted there, 2X is equal to 90, so X is 45. That means this angle is 45, this angle is 45, so rest over part, this is also 45, this is also 45, because all angles are 90 degree. So BD is also bisecting angle B as well as angle D. Okay, so this is how this question can be solved. So just you saw how I can prove a rectangle to be a square. Okay, so the main property was given was what? That the diagonal is bisecting. So from here I have used that when the angles are equal, side opposite to the opposite to those equal angles will also be equal in a triangle. Then I have proceeded further. Let's move to the next question. In the given figure, AE is equal to DE. So these two sides are equal. AE is, let us say, X. So DE is also X. Okay. Prove that, and BC is parallel to AD. Okay, these two are parallel. These two are parallel, right? Prove that the points A, B, C, D are concyclic. Also prove that diagonals of the quadrilateral A, B, C, D are equal. Now see, when you have to prove any quadrilateral to be a concyclic, keep this property in mind. Concyclic means what? That any quadrilateral, if you are drawing, if I can draw a circle which will be passing through all the four vertices, then this kind of quadrilateral is called concyclic quadrilateral. Concyclic quadrilaterals. Okay, now how do you prove it? You cannot draw a circle and check. The main property of concyclic quadrilaterals is, in concyclic quadrilaterals, opposite angles are supplementary. In concyclic quadrilaterals, opposite angles are supplementary. That means, let us say A, B, C, D is here. So this angle and this angle, angle A plus angle C will be equal to 180 degree, and angle B plus angle D will be equal to 180 degree. So this is the criteria for any quadrilateral to be a concyclic quadrilateral. Now let us look here. You know that this AE is equal to DE, and if these two are equal, I know the angle opposite to equal sides are also equal. So for this side opposite angle is this D, and for this side opposite angle is this A. So I can say angle A is equal to angle D, right? Next thing, BC is parallel to AD. Next thing, BC is parallel to AD. So I can say these two angles are nothing but interior consecutive angles. Okay, so let us say this was X, this will also be equal to X, and this angle now will become 180 minus X because interior consecutive angles are supplementary. Similarly, this angle will also be, these two are interior consecutive angles, so this angle will also become 180 minus X. Now you can see here that the opposite angle, sum of opposite angles, X plus 180 minus X, what are you getting? 180 degree. So as I can say, suppose sum of opposite angles is 180 degree. That means ABCD is a concyclic quadrilateral. ABCD is a concyclic quadrilateral. Okay, so this is how this thing can be proved, that it is a concyclic quadrilateral. Now the next part you have to prove that diagonals of the quadrilateral ABCD, they are also equal. These diagonals, they are also equal. So this part you have to prove. So you will do nothing, you will join these two. Okay, you will join these two. Right, and take these two triangles, triangle ABD and triangle ACD. One thing to you know, in this triangle ABD, this angle is equal to this angle, right? One thing to you know. The next part you can say is that this BC is parallel to AD, and we have proved that it is a, these two are parallel. Since these two are parallel, can I say, okay, so since these two are parallel, this angle will be equal to this angle. This angle will be equal to this angle, and this angle will be equal to this angle, right? So let us draw the separate diagrams now. So I am removing this part because all of you have understood this part already. So now we have to prove that the diagonals of ABCD are also equal. So what you will do now, let us draw this trapezium here. Okay, if you draw this trapezium, which is AD and BC, B is near to A and C is here. Okay, now first thing what we'll do, I want to prove that this, in this trapezium, okay, these two are given parallel. So let us do one thing. From here, draw two altitudes. Draw two altitudes, which will be 90 degree. right? Now take, let us say this is point F and G. So I can say, sir, in triangle BAF and triangle GCD or CDG. What is the first thing? First thing, to 90 degree, both are 90 degree. So angle F is equal to angle G, both are 90 degree. Now, since these are the two parallel lines, so the distance between two parallel lines will always be equal, right? If you have two parallel lines, no matter wherever you will draw perpendicular, all the perpendiculars will be equal because distance between the parallel lines does not change. So from here, I can say that, sir, BF is equal to CG. BF is equal to CG, and at the earlier I know that angle A is equal to angle D. Okay, angle A is equal to angle D. So now I have to write it in this form: angle side. So I can say triangle BAF is congruent to triangle CDG, and if it is congruent, I can say AB is equal to CD. What I have got? AB is equal to CD. First step. Now in the next step, again look at this part only. Okay, and now look at the diagonals part. Now if you will focus on the diagonals A, B, C and D, we have got AB is equal to CD. Okay, now let us look at these two triangles A, B, D and CAD. First thing, we know that angle A is equal to angle D, right? AD is the common part and AB is equal to CD. So you can see by side angle side, these two will be congruent. So by CPCT you can say BD is equal to AC. So the diagonals are equal. So this has to be done in two parts. Understood? This has to be done in two parts. Chalo, let's move ahead with the next question. ABC is a triangle right angled at C. A line through the midpoint M of hypotenuse AB parallel to BC intersects AC at D. Show that D is the midpoint of AC, MD is perpendicular to AC and CM is equal to MA is equal to half of AB. So what the question is asking you? The question is asking you, triangle ABC, you have right angle at C. So let us say this is your triangle where right angle is at C, and let us say this is your A and B. So ABC. Then a line through the midpoint M of hypotenuse AB. So here midpoint M is the midpoint, that this AM is equal to BM, right? Is of hypotenuse AB parallel to BC. Parallel to BC, you are drawing a line here. It is intersecting this AC at D. What do you want to prove? You want to show that D is the midpoint. So this is directly converse of MPT. D is the midpoint. This is the midpoint. We are drawing these two lines parallel. So this will intersect the third side at the midpoint. So from here you got AD is equal to DC. D is the midpoint directly. MD is perpendicular to AC. Now see, if these two lines are parallel, if this angle is 90 degree, I can say this angle will also be 90 degree using corresponding angle. So by using corresponding angle, this part also can be proved. The next part is CM. So you have to join this line here. CM is equal to MA. CM is equal to MA is equal to half of AB. So now you have to prove that this CM is equal to AM. Okay, this CM is equal to AM. Now what you can do, bachon, just focus on this point, on this part, these two triangles, triangle ADM and triangle DCM. If we focus on these two triangles, first thing in these two triangles, in triangle ADM and triangle CDM, I can say first thing that, sir, AD is equal to CD. Why? Because D is midpoint, I have already proved. Then angle ADM is equal to angle CDM, which is equal to what? 90 degree. We have already got it. It is perpendicular. Two proofs. And the third thing, MD is equal to MD. So if MD is equal to MD, so by CPCT I can say AM is also equal to CM. So AM is equal to CM by CPCT. Now once you have got this thing, again it is very easy to prove. Now we know that AM plus MB is equal to AB. So you can say AM and MB are equal, so twice of AM is equal to AB. So you can say AM is equal to AB by 2, and AM is also equal to CM. So CM is equal to AM is equal to half of AB. Understood? So this is how this can be done quite easily. Chalo. And you can see this is CBSE 2012 question. So see how easy questions are. Okay. Chalo. Let's move to the next question. In the adjoining figure, ABCD and PQRB are two rectangles. These are two rectangles where Q is the midpoint of BD. If QR is 5 cm, find the length of AB. Now, since these two are rectangles, bachcho, if you focus on this triangle, if you focus on this triangle, this is one side, okay, and since PQRS is a rectangle, so this line is parallel to this, and ABCD is a rectangle, so this line is also parallel to this, so all three lines are parallel to each other. So from the midpoint, if you are drawing a line parallel, it will intersect the third point at the midpoint, and this line will be half of this line. So if it is 5, this will become 10 centimeter, and if it is 10 centimeter, since it is a rectangle, AB will also be equal to 10 centimeter. So it's a very easy question. I have not written the whole proof. You can easily see. First thing is you will use converse of MPT. Then you can say that this side is half of the third, this side which is it parallel to. So this is 10 centimeter. If it is 10 centimeter, you can say this part will also be 10 centimeter because ABCD is a rectangle. Because ABCD is a rectangle. So quite easy questions, bacho, if you well understood. And I have always told you geometry now, it is very important to draw the diagrams. Okay, let's move ahead now. In the adjacent figure, AB is parallel to QP is parallel to CD. Q is the midpoint of AC. This Q is the midpoint of AC, and they have shown that this AB is 4 centimeter, CD is 6 centimeter. So beta, this AB is 4 centimeter, this CD is 6 centimeter. Then find the length of PQ. Okay, chalo. So let me give you this question for your homework. Okay, let me give you this question for your homework. So I'll give you today 2 homework questions, because since it is a numerical type, let me see how many of you would be able to solve it. Okay, think properly. What is the information given? AB is 4 centimeter, CD is 6 centimeter, and AB is parallel to PQ is parallel to CD. So think how it can be solved. Okay, so this is one homework question. Let's move to the next part. P and Q are points on the opposite sides AD and BC of a parallelogram ABCD, such that PQ passes through the points of intersection of diagonals O and its diagonal AC and BD. Okay, show that PQ bisected at O. Chalo. So first thing to draw the diagram. First thing, draw the diagram. So if you draw the diagram here, ABCD is what? A parallelogram. So let us say A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. Next thing they are saying that this PQ is passing through the point of intersection of its diagonals. So these, you know, the diagonals bisect each other. Of a parallelogram, for a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other at a point O. Okay, now they are saying that PQ is any line. PQ is any line where P and Q are on the opposite sides AD and BC. So P is somewhere here, Q is somewhere here, such that this PQ will pass through this intersection of the diagonal point, which is O. So PQ is somewhat like this, let us say. This is P, this is Q. So PQ is such a line, P is on AD, Q is on BC. You have to prove that PQ is bisected O. That means you have to prove that PO is equal to OQ. You have to prove that PO is equal to OQ. Now focus on these two triangles. Okay, focus on these two. First thing you can say that, sir, if I talk about these two triangles, this angle is equal to this angle because they are vertically opposite angles, right? Second thing I can say, ki sir, this angle will be equal to this angle because of interior alternate angle. See the Z formation. See the Z formation. So interior alternate angle, these two are equal. Next thing, AO is equal to OC because diagonals bisect each other. So you can see by angle side angle, I can say these two triangles are congruent, and if these two are congruent, I can say by CPCT PO is equal to OQ. Okay, so as you saw, it is a very easy question. The main thing is to identify which triangles to take, how to proceed for the questions. Okay, so this is how this question can be solved. Now one more homework question you have. So total 2 homework question. One is this one, and other one which previous one I have already shown, right? So these are your 2 homework question. One homework question, if you want, you can take a screenshot here as well. So this is your first homework question, and this is your second homework question. So you can take a screenshot. Okay, so this is all bacho in today's class. I'll see you soon in the next session very quickly and with the homework questions, and let's see this time how many students will be able to give me correct answer. Okay, so do download Vedantu's app bacho. There you're getting awesome features, free doubt solving facility, free study material, practice sessions, and schedule for the master classes. Okay, also you can now download the PDF of your master session which you have attended. Next thing, do join the Telegram group because many students are there which are like discussing their problems and helping each other out, so you can also be a part of it. And last but not the least, like, share and subscribe to this channel. Okay, like this video so that this video can reach to maximum many other people as well, and share this video as much as you can so that other students who are still not aware about of this platform, they might get to know about it, and we'll get a huge base, and whatever we are working towards that, so that the whole India gets a good education, a proper education, no matter where you are staying, where you belong to, which school you are going, irrespective of everything, all of you will get an equal opportunity. So do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Also press the bell icon so that you will get the notification whenever a new video is coming. And for any doubts, you can reach out to me at gopal.paliwal@vedantu.com. Okay bachcho, so this is all in today's class. I'll see you soon in the next session. Till then, bye bye, good night. I'll see you. Bye bye.